Hello, hope you're well. This is just a reflection on January's 31 days of mindfulness. Of course, now we're at the back end of February, so a little bit of time has passed. And I was really interested to hear feedback from people who did try some or all of the exercises, but perhaps more importantly, those who didn't manage to find a way to give these things a bit of a try. And I have reflected that perhaps some of the techniques around mindfulness and meditation can be problematic, can be difficult for people to engage with because there is a huge barrier potentially in the way, and that is that it seems often to be a big change, to be something completely different. And with most people tending to report that they've got busy lives and they've got lots going on, adding something new can be off-putting. It may be that we struggle to keep up with our existing commitments or routines, never mind then adding something else on, which can be shrouded in mystery. But I think the beauty of practicing mindfulness for cricket and for everywhere else in life is that it's not something new. It's already there within our lives. It's just paying that bit of attention to it. So some of the activities were around focusing just on one thing that you're doing. So you're already doing it, but perhaps decluttering your mind by not adding two or three or other more things in to what you're doing. So something which worked for people was when they're eating, just eat. Don't have your phone on, don't be watching the telly. Those little ones give us an insight to what it's like to train our focus and concentration, to just look at one thing at a time. And mindfulness is about making ourselves be as close as we can to the present moment. And that present moment will just be what is happening then. We have an abundance of choice in our lives with unending distractions through mobile telephones, through streaming services, through all kinds of stuff. But that isn't preparing us for, in cricket, the activity which requires us to focus on one ball at a time. And in lots of other areas of our life where we can find ourselves distracted and then build up that instinct to want to be distracted because we're used to it. So the mindfulness techniques that were across that 31 days were all about little things that might take a few minutes just to have a play and be curious with the things that are there. And the one that I think might be the most important is the practices which link to gratitude, being able to see the good in things. And this isn't inventing good things when they don't exist. It's not grabbing positivity for the sake of it. It's actually uncovering the positives that are there already and moving away from an autopilot where we might just see the problems and moving more towards identifying the good things. So I spend quite a lot of my life trying to advocate ways of practicing mindfulness, mainly because I found it so useful, and there's a heap of research to support the fact that there's great outcomes for people practicing mindfulness, whether that be in sport or just across the rest of our lives. So if you've made it to the end of this video, thanks very much. And my plea, I suppose, would be to go away and try some mindfulness, but we're not going whole hog thinking about 30 minutes of a formal practice of meditation, perhaps even just 30 seconds of counting your breaths. When you are feeling perhaps overwhelmed or stressed, just connecting with one thing and dealing with that. And it begins a really, really powerful approach to your life. And this is based around the idea of each time we do it, we have a beginner's mind. We don't know it all. We might practice it for years and years, but each time we do it, it's a new moment. So there'll be new things to experience, and trying to connect with that, which might sound really abstract and a bit wacky, but one thing at a time. That's what we're after with mindfulness, and just think about the transfer of that into cricket.